Okay, 5079, can you bring that to the camera, please, so I can see it closer? You can get up because you're not really starting until after we have dismissed you, going into the box for 3 minutes. All right, let's see what we have, sir. 5079, Introduction to Hospitality and Tourism, making jewelry. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, I'm not supposed to say anything. All right, 5079, you can begin your setup. Go. Where's our mute?
$5079, could you unmute your computer, please?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Good morning. I will show you how I make jewelries to support of my school. And this set is a donation of my school, and it's also known, and it's also will be as gifts as well. Right. And to make jewelries, and you need some tools is to make it. A designer board. A round nose. A flat nose. Cutter. And crimper. Eye pins for earrings. Hooks for earrings. And beads and space beads. And to make earrings, and you have to select any beads to make. And then you have to play with them until you get it right. When you did that, place the beads on the eye pin. And after you've done that, use the cutters to cut the extra eye pin off. Okay. Then, and then you put your hook onto, and then you put your hook onto the eye pin, and then you use the round nose to bend the eye pin onto the hole. See? This poster board on the height. Yeah, on this poster board, and this is how I make earrings. First you arrange the earrings, and then you select the earrings, and then you and then place them on the eye pins. And then you cramp it onto the earrings, and this how the earrings are supposed to be finished. Now right here, and this is me complete the whole set, and this is how the set be completed. In conclusion, this is how the whole set is supposed to be. And I also made these earrings as well. I made these earrings as well, earrings along with the necklace. You know, in conclusion, these right here are my these are my the finished these are my finished earrings and necklace. The necklace I made in time. These jewelry items are great gifts, and a lot of fun to make. Thank you.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful day. We're going to take you off the Zoom now, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Got it. Yeah, if you remove people, they can tell, because I did it to a student. I was like, oh, we just lost connection. She goes, it says right here.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if Henry's trying to get in. How can we tell about that? He would be 5077.
507.
No, I'm sorry, 5077, yes.
Yeah, it's this person.
But that's 5507.
I think the number just might be wrong. Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Is your contestant number 5077?
No, it's 5507.
No, it's 5077.
Are you from California?
Yes.
What's your name?
Emilio Hernandez?
It's five, I've got 5077.
Okay, we've got 5077.
Oh, here it is.
That's okay.
That's
Just
okay.
Go ahead and
Just
change it.
change it.
Okay, let me change it.
Okay, we're actually going to move you back to the waiting room. We have one more person to go first, and then we'll be
Okay.
back to you, okay?
All right, before we do that,
My number is 5077, right?
yes, 5077. I'd like to go over something really quick. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, when you come into the room, what I need you to do is hold up your card where we can see it. Then we're going to tell you, you may begin. We're going to mute ourselves, and then it's going to be all up to your proctor, whoever's doing your times, to fill this out and then send it in to us. After we finish, you are done and we'll remove you from the meeting, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
A line? Oh, yeah, Henry knows too. Okay. Who do we have next? We've got 5078.
Okay, we are not muted, okay? So I'm
Okay,
gonna bring them
thank
in.
you. Gotta stop talking to us, Andy.
Hi, contestant 5078. You're muted?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, can we see
We
your
were
card?
unmuting.
Okay, can we see your card?
Do it one more time.
Servicing a four-cycle
Push mower. Mhm. Service careers.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna mute ourselves and then you may begin, okay?
Okay, I'm ready to begin. The first thing we want to know about this is a four-cycle push mower. The key thing is that it keeps the oil and gas separately. Now, when you're working on this or just using it in general, you want to make sure you have your safety stuff, like your glasses here, closed-toed shoes, and long pants. You also, especially when you're touching the blade, want to make sure that the spark plug is disconnected. I like to put it just right here so it's not in the way if you have to mess with spark plug. And typically the spark plug will need to get cleaned or maybe even changed every 50 to 100 hours, which is the same time as the oil. So you can kind of get two birds with one stone when you do that. So, well, speaking of oil, let's just start there. Now, get the grease rag. And make sure you have this so you don't make a huge mess and stuff. This stuff is kind of oily. Now, this is the dipstick, and you can tell it by its yellow color. Now, you want to just wipe it before you read it. You want to wipe it and screw it back in, and then pull it out first. Now, when you see, it's really hard to see, but that's a good thing. You know, the darker the oil is, the better, or the dirtier it is. Now, you'll have this area right here. If it's too high, then the oil will leak out the side. It'll cause an overpressure. You don't want that. If it's too low, then it will basically not do its job and it won't cool it enough. And you'll end up burning out the engine. You'll basically either have to replace the engine or the entire motor. So you want to make sure it's right in that area. Now, going to now show how to. Now, one of the easiest things, especially on the mower, is the fuel. You want to just open it up. You can notice the gaps by that little symbol here. Kind of look down, do a visual inspection. You know, it's sometimes hard to see, so you might have to just kind of tap the side or something. And if it's too low, or if you think it's too low, then it probably is too low. And a lot of the time, it's pretty easy to check that. Now, with the air filter here, you want to take this tab and pull it down and out. Just set that there. Now, this is an oil bath filter. It's kind of like a sponge kind of foam. And the easy way to tell if it's oil bath is this big red button. Or also just it's a sponge or foam. The easiest way to clean it, or just really big way to clean it, is to take it over on a sink, use degreaser or just soap and water, and just kind of wash it off, and then put a few drops of oil on it, and then lather it in there, and then you will have a good to go filter. Now, this is important here, is make sure this hook right here on the bottom, and then push it up and in. The reason why that's important is because this helps create like a good seal. Otherwise, it's having it not hooked on is basically no different than having no cover on there. Most other mowers will have a filter like this, and the way you would check it and clean it is you would put it up to the light, kind of maybe bend it like this. You can see any dots, and then use a compressed air or something to blow it off, and then you would check it again to make sure you didn't just go and punch a hole right through it. And then if you don't see any dots, you should be good. Now you're going to go and check the blade. Now, you typically do not ever want to mess with the blade when this is connected, this is disconnected. So I am good to touch it. The reason why is because you're gonna have your fingers right here. You don't want it to start. Sometimes it will, and it's not fun. Now this is a pretty good shaped blade, but if you see dings or chips in it, you may have to sharpen it or just replace the blade in general. Now this part is where it could start. Since I got the spark plug disconnected, I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm checking the other side. Now, if you had trouble with this, you will go take it over to an angle grinder and sharpen it down, and you would make sure that it's balanced. If it's not balanced right, then it'll kind of cause it to wobble, and it might even cause you to break the machine or hurt yourself, which that's not fun at all. Now, I'm not going to show how to do the spark plug and stuff, but you will unscrew it. Now, typically it depends on the machine itself, like if it's in metric measurements or imperial measurements, but you'll unscrew it, and then you'll get a wire brush and kind of scrub it off. You'll also, before you scrub it off and after you scrub it off, just to make sure, you'll want to get a micrometer like this and make sure that you have the right measurement. I believe this is a 0.035. The way you check it is you just get the little spark thing and pull this out and make sure that it's the right gap. So now, I hope this has been helpful. That is really all you have to do. This won't, usually it'll kind of fix most of your problems, but it's not a guarantee. Sometimes it's just a matter of the engine itself, so the internal, that's not really fun either. It will definitely help prolong the life of the engine, and I hope that has been helpful. That is all I have to say about it. I am done. And I think that's clean up, right? I, am I supposed to, yeah, and I guess so, yeah.
Okay, contestant 5078. Thank you for your presentation. I'm going to remove you from the Zoom at this point, and you have a great day, okay?
Great. Have a great
Have a
day.
great day.
Okay. Now the next one should be Henry's.
Yes, he still hasn't changed it, so I'm going to tell him that I'm going to change it.
Just do it.
Okay.
Are we muted?
No. Contestant
Yes.
5077.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to change your number because you do not have your correct number. Okay. I changed it for you.
Okay.
Do you have your card?
Yes, I do.
Could you hold it to the camera?
What does that say? A little bit closer,
closer.
please.
Closer,
Close.
Tess.
Change front brakes.
Automotive.
Okay, we're good. Tell them
Okay.
we're going to mute and you may begin.
Okay, I'm ready. Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My contestant number is 5077. Today, I'm going to show you how to change your front brake systems on your front disc. And the tools required are our 3/8 torque wrench for our caliper bolts, our flat screwdriver to pry our pads. Our linear micrometer to measure our 7 different spots on our disc, so we can find out if we have a run up. And then we have our 3/8 driver to check up our 2 bolts on behind our caliper. We have our C-clamp to close our piston when we're done, and our safety glasses. So let's start off by taking off our 2 bolts that we have here. We're using a T4. Now you can always switch these bolts out. They sell kits for these bolts. They're slide piston bolts, the slide bolts. So we'll start by taking one by one off. I'll give you the 3/8 driver for this. Should be easy to come up, as you can see, a bolt. You can buy another bolt, another hardware kit. They sell different bolts. One piece gets rounded off. So we'll take off one, we'll take off the other one. Now that we have both of them off, now we can see our caliper. As you can see, 2 sets of brake pads on our caliper, and we should take one out. Our blue indicates our lining of our pad. Alrighty. And as you can see, on this one, we have our brake sensor that indicates us when our pads are going down. It'll sound something like this. And once we finish once we reach that lining right here, it's gonna start sounding like this. That's when you know you need to change your brakes. If not, your disc is going to be damaged in the process of it, and then you would have to buy it and clean the disc. Now, we're going to measure our 7 different spots on our disc with our linear caliper, and we're measuring 7 different spots to see if it's less than 24,000 of an inch, as you see right here. It shows us 24.5. If it's less than that, we cannot cut this disc. We'd have to buy a new one or resurface this disc. So let's start by measuring 7 different spots. That's 1. We're looking for it to be more than 24,000 of an inch. If it is, then we can cut. 3. So far, that's good. 4. Good. Now that we measured our disc, that looks fine to me. Now we're going to use our dial indicator. Our dial indicator to measure our runout and wobble, which means if it goes under, more than 1,000, if it moves more than 1,000 of an inch, that means our surface is not flat. Our surface is warped. So that means we would have to either change our disc or cut our disc. So let's see, let's measure. As you can see, our needle will move if our surface is not flat. So now that we have that there, we're going to use our C-clamp to push our piston back in. For our pads, remember it's pressurized, so we have to push it back in for our pads. So as you can see, I'm going to use this right here, C-clamp. We'll bring it down here. And you're going to want to slowly, make sure when you're doing this, you have your brake reservoir open. Where you put your brake fluid in, to make sure you have no bare bubbles in there. So what you're gonna do is just keep on moving it. You're gonna keep on going until you finally close your caliper, your piston area. So that when your new pads come in, it should be easy to get in. Now that we have that, they do sell, I don't have it on me, but they do sell, they do sell, it's kind of like a brake lubricant. It's for your pads. It should go away in the back here, like this. And it'll go on this side too as well. Bottom. Now that we have that done, we can start putting our pads in, and we'll put our piston back on. A second. Now that we have that, they do sell Logitech for this. So when you have Loctite, you wanna make sure you have, what do you call it, high temperature Loctite? Well, not Loctite, but it's cream, it's for your pistons, for your, what do you call them, your sliding bolts, to have lubricant, so make sure you put them in there. So now I start by putting one by one. I'm gonna tighten my hand first. After we tighten my hand, we're gonna get our driver. We're gonna tighten them evenly until they're tight, and then we're gonna get our torque wrench that's right here, 45 pounds. We'll start by tightening these up first. And we don't want to be too tight because you don't want one that's tight and the one that's loose. So we got that. Okay. Right. Now we're gonna get a torque wrench. I already have it set to 45 pounds. We're gonna do a wait for a clip. We should be good. Click. It should just make you how to change your front disc brakes, and the tools required were 3/8 torque wrench, our linear caliper, which is this, to measure our 7 different spots, our flat screwdriver to take apart our pads, our 3/8 driver to tighten our bolts, and our C-clamp that we have here to push our piston back in, our dial indicator, and our safety glasses. Thank you.
Leave the meeting.
Okay, contestant 5077,
Yes.
thank you for your presentation. I'm gonna remove you from the Zoom at this time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You have
You
a
have
great
a
day.
wonderful day.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.
Ready?
Okay, let's make sure we got 1391 up, correct? Cool, let's do her.
Okay, we're not
Muted.
right.
Okay. Um,
Hi. Oh, remember.
You're on mute.
No.
No, they're not?
Yeah, they're on mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Right, good.
We're ready to begin.
Jason, get up there.
At 1391. Is this it?
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
1391
their
daily
Daily floor
floor.
care,
All right.
general maintenance.
Okay,
Whenever I plug his mic in, we won't be able to hear you anymore, okay?
so that will happen, once he's finished with this competition, we will be removing him from the meeting. And we usually tell you all to have a great day and all that. So, all right. It's
At
on.
that, or whenever he finishes his removal, I'll unplug the mic and
Then we can speak to him. Okay, thank you.
no problem. All right. Do your setup.
daily floor care. It is my mop and mop bucket filled with warm pear water. And not hot water because it will damage your floor treatment. It is a wet floor sign. It is a depth fan. It is a dub mop. It is Everburn. These are the Everburn. Let me figure it all out. When you get your mop, you put it, you don't go backward with it, or you don't pick it up and shake it all around. Cause then it'd be more depth on the floor. And you get your depth pan and everything. And you feed it all in the pile. Don't put it down. Then you put your wet floor sign up. Then take your mop and put it in the drainer. Put it down. And bring it out. And I stop dripping. And you put it to the other side. And out. And take it out. Go on the edge. And you do your figure eight pattern. And you want to work back to your bucket. Then you want to rinse it out. And out. Again. Way. And you wanna do low, yeah, too. Do your knee pattern again. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Break down. Break down. Put your stuff over there. All right, we're back on the regular mic and y'all should be able to hear us.
Contestant 1391, we're going to remove you from the competition. Thank you for your wonderful presentation and have a wonderful evening.
Thank y'all very much.
Bye.
Hey, your guys' expressions on some of the parts were just amazing.
What are you talking about during the presentation?
Yeah,
Oh, we got.
I can see it. I can see it. He can't. No, y'all.
Okay.
There are certain parts of it that just and we're not being recorded. We are being recorded.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Y'all have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
It was when he did the broom.
Are we off? Let's off mute. Well, it doesn't matter.
We don't have anybody.
Dang it. We gotta watch that, huh?
Yeah. Well, when he did the broom, we were like, "Wow!"
Yeah. Well, he couldn't see us.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm not worried. The thing is with the judges, I have 2 from California. But that won't matter. So,
Okay.
okay, that's 1391. Our
Now
next
we're
one
going
is
to
1392.
Okay, you ready? We are not
Muted.
muted. Contestant 1392.
We're ready for you to give us your card and begin your presentation. Please.
1390.
It's backwards, but
You're fine.
No, we can see it.
I can see your number, but we need to see what your presentation is going to be.
I'm right here. All right, so I'm gonna be doing the fried fish sandwich. Am I good to start cleaning or setting?
Hold on, please. We're gonna write that down. Fried fish.
What is your program
What program are you in?
at your school?
Culinary.
We figured that, yeah.
We just wanted to make sure we asked.
So we are going to unmute ourselves
We're
and
going
then
to mute ourselves.
we are going to unmute ourselves and then you're going to begin your setup and your presentation, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Good to go. Okay. This. it's on the. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. All right, I'm ready to go. All right, so for my demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how to create a fried fish sandwich. So we're going to first start by making the batter. Right here I have flour. We're going to add all our dry ingredients first into the bowl. So I'm going to start with flour. Next, I'm going to go garlic powder. A lot of people like garlic powder and onion powder together, but for this recipe, all you need is garlic powder, garlic powder. It works really well. Next, I'm going to go smoked paprika. Smoked paprika adds a great red color to the fish batter, as well as it adds a great smokiness. Next, I'm going to add salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is all to taste. You can add a little bit on after, but I'm going to add a little more because I like it a little salty. Next, I'm going to add the egg. This is the wet ingredients now. So there's two wet ingredients, the egg and seltzer water. So this is just plain seltzer water, no flavor added. So this is great because it adds bubbles to it. And the bubbles are really, really good for making it really light and airy. So when you fry it, it doesn't overpower the fish and you still taste good flaky fish. So we're gonna mix this all together now. And right now I'm trying to just mix out all the lumps. You also want to check if the consistency is right. You don't want it to be too thick or too thin. You want to make sure that the consistency will coat the fish, but it won't be too thick that it will cover the fish completely and it won't cook properly. So now that I have all the lumps out, this is when I would take a piece of fish and I would dredge it in this. And when I dredge the fish in this, it would go straight into the fryer it would go straight into the fryer. I don't want to put it in the basket. If I put it in the basket, the bottom of the fish is going to stick to the basket. And when it sticks to the basket, when you try to take it out, it's going to get all ruined and some parts will be covered and other parts won't be, and that's no good. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to make tartar sauce. So the tartar sauce is really great for the sandwich. It can be put on the side, it can be put on the sandwich itself. So we're going to start with the base of the tartar sauce. The base of the tartar sauce is mayonnaise. So it gives it obviously its color, but it also gives it, mayonnaise is also made out of egg and it goes really well with the batter and the fish as well. Next, I'm going to do salt and pepper. This is all the taste as well. So you can put this in now or at the end, but you want to try it to make sure that it's the good seasoning, because if it's not seasoned properly, it won't have its full flavor. Next, I'm going to add dill. Dill is really good. I love dill, so I'm going to add a lot of it. It's really, really good. Next, I'm going to add capers. Capers are kind of like olives in a way. They're a little salty, but you got to make sure you rinse them after they come out of the jar. So I'm going to add a little bit of these. Next, I'm going to add dill pickle, different than dill. Dill is a plant. Dill pickle is a pickle. Next, I'm going to add the Worcestershire sauce, the one that everybody can't say. It's a pain to say. But yeah, we're going to mix this all together. And this is our mayonnaise. Dill and everything together, and we have our tartar sauce. And this would be the point where you could try it and adjust the seasoning, salt, pepper, anything like that. You could even add cayenne pepper in it and give it a little bit of a kick on the sandwich. So we're going to tap that and we're going to put it over to the side. proper assembly of the sandwich. So right now, my goal is to assemble the sandwich. And we have all this over here. So you want to make sure you have the right plate as well. If you don't have the right plate size, it's not going to be good. You want to make sure it fits the bun well. And right here, I have a really good toasted Kaiser bun. It's really beautiful. So we're going to start with the fish that we fried. It's a really beautiful fish and it fits the bun perfectly. Next, I'm going to go butter lettuce. I honestly think that the butter lettuce might go better underneath it. So I'm going to do that instead, but it's all up to you. It's all up to what you want to do. And if I'm going at that same route, I might do the tomatoes underneath as well to keep all the vegetables together. And now that I have that on, I want to make sure that I have the top bun. The top bun, we have our tartar sauce from earlier. You can put this on the side, like I said, if you want, but I like to have it right on the sandwich, just all in there. And I'm going to add a little extra just to have it all in there. And then if you want your lemon juice over on the side here, that you can squeeze right onto the fish itself. Just add a little bit of acidity to the fish because there's no acidity in here. It's a little heavy. And then once you add that, you can top the sandwich. You make sure your plate is clean. And this is ready to serve to the customer. And this is the fried fish sandwich. I hope you guys enjoy it. That's the end of my presentation. And I'm going to start cleanup now. You have to make sure you clean the table afterwards because you want to make sure it's sanitary for the next person using it. Thank you for watching.
All right, 1392, we're going to remove you from the meeting. Thank you for your presentation and your hard work, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
You do the same.
Thank you. What's that admin mean? That word up there? The waiting room.
Admin, somebody's on as an, I don't know. I haven't let them.
Somebody's listening in on us.
Well, they can't get in.
Oh, are we being recorded still?
Yes.
What's going on?
So we're bringing in contestant 1393. Hi, contestant 1393.
Hi.
Hello. Let's see your card, please.
Give me a second.
There it is. Okay. Say,
Okay, PEX pipe versus copper, green building trades.
versus copper.
Where I start? Where my stuff?
1 second, just 1 second.
Okay, 1393, we are going to mute, and then you're going to begin your setup and do your competition.
Okay,
Good luck.
Now? Okay. I'm all ready. Okay. All right. Today I'm going to be comparing head plates to copper plates. First, head plates cost way less than copper. It costs about $1.50 to $3.50 per linear foot. But copper costs about $8 per linear foot. That's cheaper. You don't have to constantly clean head pipes with the fittings in. To put things in, because I'm about to show you how to put things in later. For copper, you have to clean the pipe first before putting the fittings in. Head pipes do not corrode because they are made of plastic. The copper pipes do corrode and need to be replaced because they are metal, and metal is wood. PEX pipes do not burst and need to be cold temperatures. That copper pipes do, which right here, shown right here. PEX pipes do not start fires or can't get things in, which again, I'm going to show you later how to put them in. Copper, the copper, there's a risk of starting a house fire and trying to install it. PEX pipes are very easy to replace because you just gotta cut out the pipe, put another one in, and you're all good. Whereas copper pipes, copper pipes are not that easy to replace. If you mess up, you might gonna have to re-put in the entirety of the pipe. You can tell the difference between PEX pipes, which kind of water flows through them. Because red is for hot water and blue is for cold water. But for copper pipes, you can't tell what kind of water is flowing through them. The only way to tell what type of temperature it is to put your hand on the pipe. But that's dangerous because you might accidentally burn yourself if it's too hot. PEX pipes are actually very easy to cut, which I'm about to show you. First, you get this pipe cutter and you put the pipe inside it. Then you twist the cutter while applying pressure. And boom, a clean cut. Very easy and simple. But for copper pipes, cutting up a copper pipe takes a lot longer, and is also takes a lot longer. First, you get the copper pipe, then you get a copper cutter. You put the copper pipe inside it, and you twist this up. Then you spin the pipe. Then you twist this again to push the pipe into it. See how hard this is? Very difficult. There's also, if you mess it up, there's a chance that this might happen. There's a chance that this might happen. Like if you can't see it, it's like the line is twisting, going around. That's messing up the pipe. And then it's even more expensive they have to cut another pipe, which will be more expensive. Then you just gotta do it again. Yeah, it's very difficult to cut copper pipes. But it's very difficult to cut copper pipes, which is why it's easier to cut the PEX pipe. To put fittings in a PEX pipe, all you need to do is grab a PEX pipe, get a fitting, put it in, then use a clamp to clamp down the middle, and it becomes very hard to roll. But for copper pipes is a longer process. First, you either get this or an emery cloth and then clean the end of the pipe. Twist it around, get it all clean. There. Then you get your fitting. Then you grab a brush, this brush, and you put it inside it, and you clean the inside of the pipe. Like so. Then you get this, and you get this, then you get the solder, then you put it inside the fitting, then you also put it around the clean end of your pipe, then you put them together like this. Put them together like this. Then you use a blowtorch, then you heat up the pipe, and so it's all heated. Then you put the solder inside it, which will melt inside of it. Which is why I said putting in copper pipes might start fire because you have to use a blowtorch. Now, we had a couple of incidents where a house actually did catch on fire because of putting copper pipes in. But if you want to combine the two pipes together, you use a shark pipe, which is right here. All you need to do is put them together. First, you grab a PEX pipe, then you grab a copper pipe, you put them together and squeeze together. You squeeze together, and it's all tight. Now, that is all I have to say about this. I'm not trying to tell you to always use PEX pipes and copper pipes. PEX pipes, large buildings actually in like New York don't actually use PEX pipes because if there was a fire, the plastic will melt and go into the air and it will be more toxic in the air, which is why they use copper pipes. Now that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Oh, wait. Oh, Scott.
I'm going to send the next one.
Thank you. Contestant 1393. Thank you for your presentation. I'm going to remove you from the Zoom at this time and you have a great day, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
I'm bringing it 1402.
Cool.
Hi, contestant 1402.
And then you do not need to see the proctor, correct?
No, we do not.
Do you have the card?
We need. Okay.
Knife safety, culinary arts.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to mute ourselves so that you can start your time and the setup and presentation.
Okay. Ready? Yep. Let's do it.
Hello, welcome to my presentation today. Today I will be talking about how to use a knife and about knife safety. So I'm going to show you the type of knives and what they're used for. So first we got the paring knife. Paring knives are small knives and they're very common to use to cut slices off thin items, so such as radishes and potatoes. Next, we got the chef knife. The chef knife is used commonly in kitchens, and this is probably the most common that the chefs use in the industry. Right here on top is the spine. That's the top of your knife right here, which then goes into the tip, which is your pointy end of your knife. Then it goes into the cutting edge, which is where you cut at, to the heel. The heel, if you really look at it, kind of looks like a heel of a human's foot. Next, you go to the handle. The handle has three little things in it. They're little cylinder tubes. These are called rivets. Rivets are used to hold the knife together. And then this is right here, the butt of the knife is the end here. The rivets are also used to hold the knife's handle together. So we want to make sure the rivets are nice and tucked in there and they don't break off. Next, we got the 10-inch knife. There's three types of 8-inch knives. 8-inch knives have three different types. There's the 8-inch, the 10-inch, and then the 12-inch. As you can see, this looks very similar to the 8-inch, but it's bigger in size. And this also can be used for cutting grapefruits, watermelons, anything bigger items. And then if you would have the 12-inch, you could cut even bigger things. Next, we got the Bowie knife. And the Bowie knife is used to cut thin slices of meat off bone. And we want to use that so then we get nice thin cuts, such as if you were cutting like a roast beef, you want nice thin cuts, or you were doing a poke shorter, and you wanted to cut off thin slices of meat to make roast. This is the type of knife you would use. Next, we have the bread knife. Bread knives are commonly used to cut bread. So say if you had grilled cheeses and you were cutting grilled cheeses and you wanted to keep the crust very nice and smooth, that's what you would do. You would use this knife. It keeps it nice and crusty without hurting the bread. Now, these knives are very dangerous sometimes because you have these tiny teeth right here. And as you can see, they're very well spaced out. And then what we would do with this is it also has this curve here as well to disguise it from its other type of knife that looks very similar to it. So yeah, this would be used to cut grilled cheeses, breads, all types of things. Next, we got the serrated knife. Serrated knives are used to cut delicate items. So say if you were cutting a tomato and you wanted to keep the skin nice and smooth, delicate, this is the type of knife you would use. These are designated by their teeth as well. As you can see here, we got a lot more teeth, but they're not spaced out. They're closer together. So how do we cut it? And what is a cutting method we can use? Well, we can use something called the claw, and I will use this tomato to demonstrate that. So the claw method is when you tuck in your hand like this and you put your hands like this. It's kind of like a fist. You have a fist here and your knife's going to cut. I'm going to show you real quick and slow. Right there. And as you can see, we have a nice smooth cut and that there is no problem there. So next, I'm going to show you step by step. So what you're going to do is first, you're going to tuck your hand in like this, your thumb to your fingers. Then you're going to close your fingers down like this into a fist. And you're going to let the knuckles of your hand to guide the knife downwards. So you can see we have a nice thinner cut. So next, what do we do afterwards? Well, there's plenty of things you can do. First, we would like to get rid of the knives, bring them to a dish room. In my culinary, what we do is we use something called sharp. This is what we yell out to people, say if we were going to the dish room and we wanted to get a knife somewhere. So I would yell sharp. And then I would repeat it again just to let somebody know that someone's coming around with a knife and not to point it or nothing like that. So when we get to the dish room, what do we use? Well, for an example, in my culinary class, I use a rack that we use in dish room. Now these are to keep the knives very secure. So say if you have like a longer knife, such as a 10-inch, an 8-inch, you would put it like this. Nice and thin there, very upwards material right there. So what do we do for smaller knives? Smaller knives, such as the paring knife, are going to go up right here. You can probably fit about 3, but it just depends on how many you have. So say if you wanted to have 3 in here, they wouldn't be spaced out. So recommendedly, I would put these right here with 2. So then what do we do after that? Well, for an example, what do we do with the cutting board? The cutting board right here, we have to clean all this mess up. So what we would do is we would clear our materials off our cutting board. What we would do is we would use a sanding bucket. A sanding bucket is used to clean pathogens off. So say if you had this dirty, there's pathogens growing on this, and pathogens can make people sick. So what we want to do is we want to clean this off nice and smoothly by using a rag that would be in here. So what I would do was I would clean this right here, and this would clean the surface off, lowering the pathogen level, so then you can bring it and cut more. You would also like to clean this as well when you're done, so then you don't leave any more pathogens on there. And that is my demonstration for today.
$14.02.
Yep.
We will be.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
We will be removing you from the meeting. Thank you for that wonderful presentation and for sticking with it. And you all have a wonderful evening, okay?
Yes, thank you guys very much for letting me complete. Thank you. Perfect.
Okay, so
Sweet.
who's
Okay,
this
I gotta
audio?
figure out who this is. Let me see.
Are we recorded?
Mhm. Hello?
Hello?
Is that your phone? Nope, that's yours.
Big surprise. Hello? Oh, it says admin is connecting to audio and can't hear you yet.
Maybe they're an afternoon.
Maybe so. It looks like they're getting on now. And first I thought it was maybe somebody that is monitoring the Zoom like we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Note 2.
See, because they have a box taped. Look,
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they're this afternoon.
And maybe they aren't connecting. It just, that's what the
Just
computer
what
does.
it's saying.
Well, we have everybody that was at
Yeah.